You know, we've been back and forth on this car, but this car here,
Right.
this is this car, the same car. And
Okay.
Clark Geffey and I, this is just when I first got married. This is me and Sherry, Clark Geffey's wife, and my eventual wife, Pat. And we're working on the car, and as you can see, we painted it totally different. And this is how it looked when we got finished with it. And if you notice right here, it says "Hustle Later." This car looked a lot like Chrisman's car. If you kind of the Hustler,
Oh, sure.
It does.
the Hustler, right?
Yep.
So I'm at Bakersfield one year, and I'm racing this car, just like it is. And here comes Art Chrisman. What the hell do you think you're doing? I said, what are you talking about, Art? Why do you put Hustler on your car? I said, Art, did you look at it? Yeah, you put Hustler on there just like mine. Why are you stealing my name? Art, did you look at the name? Somebody had told him.
Yeah.
So he's all mad. He ain't even looked at
No,
it, right? So I said, look at it. And he says, and then he finally figured it out. I said, it's Hustle Later. Art, it's a compliment to you. Do you understand that? It's a compliment to you. I said, we're going to hustle later. You know what I'm saying?
That's an excellent story. That's excellent.
great.
That's
So
wonderful.
anyway,
Even he will laugh about that one.
and the fun part of that whole thing was I won B Fuel that year at Bakersfield with that car.
Wow.
And this is kind of, and then Lee Drake come along, and Lee was helping me with this car a little bit because what
Lechien Drake.
happened was Clark Geffey got married, and he decided he had to be a homebody immediately, and this was frivolous stuff that he probably shouldn't be doing because he's a married man, you know? So he said to me, I'll trade you my half of the dragster for your 51 Chevy. And I said, okay, if that's what you want to do. So I gave him a car, and I got half of the car, and then Lee started helping me. And it is.
Lee actually was Dick's next door neighbor. For,
Oh, okay.
Well, then, at that time, no, he wasn't. But later on, I moved over there next to him. So these are all just pictures of that same car. You know, we're racing it, as having a good time.
Right.
And this is one of the records that we had up at Colton.
And what does it say on it here? Is the year and date and all that?
And this was in 61.
1961.
See, in 1961,
Yeah.
I had a record at Colton Drag Strip too.
You did?
Yeah.
What was your record?
My record was, I was the D-Gas record holder with my 55 Chevy. I ran 99 miles an hour, and I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I was a senior in high school. So,
I had a 33 Ford with a small block Chevrolet in it,
Uh-huh.
and I was, I can't remember exactly what class it was. I think it was D or C class, and the guy in the same class was a guy by the name of Doug Cook.
Oh, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a blown Chevrolet in a Studebaker. And here I'm working on my little car, and he walks over there and comes to me and says, you know, it's not fair for me to have to race you. I said, well, you're probably right. You know, I mean, we got a blown Chevrolet, right? So he jumped up a class and won his class, and I actually won with my 33 Ford. But I never would have happened if I had to race here. It would have been like 2 singles.
Wow.
that was
That's a
kind
good
of
one.
neat.
That's a good one.
These are just some time cards and so on. And this was a race at San Gabriel.
Sit back, will you, Dick? I can't see your
San Gabriel, and we ended up winning that top eliminator thing. We shouldn't have, but we did. I jumped him on a light.
And that's you on the far side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy here is the guy I bought my Plymouth from, Andy. I don't know if it says his last name in here, but he has the Ramblers. His dad was a doctor. Where is it? Doesn't say his last name. Anyway, he's the fellow that, he's a really nice guy. I bought my Plymouth from him. These are just a friend of mine, Harry Loftus, that raced motorcycles.
Yeah.
And we raced motorcycles out on Paradise Mesa on occasions we would lay out a road race course and have some racing out there. This is after George Adrian's. I drove for Ted Sear with experimental Pontiac engines on AA fuel. I never was very good at it. In fact, I never really drove it well at all.
What year was this?
That was 62.
62. Look at the length of that car.
Yeah, I know, it's
What was the
really
length of it? You
That's a
remember?
pretty long car.
It almost looks like a dragmaster car.
It is a dragmaster car.
Oh, it is?
We lengthened it 3 feet.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. We're trying to get it to handle. It was my problem. I was so scared in that car that I couldn't turn the steering wheel. I couldn't drive it. And Ted made the comment to me after I got my Woody car and after I made a couple passes at Ramona. He came up to me in the pits and he says, "You know what? I swear to God, I seen you actually turn the steering wheel."
I remember you telling me that. That was great.
I said, "Yeah, you did."
Well, I remember watching you turn the steering wheel in that little short car off to the right.
Yeah.
I do.
And then this again is Ramona,
Yeah.
and I think I'm.
Give me just a second to take a shot of that, because
Okay.
that's a great, great picture. These hardy pictures are...
The first
So
time
special.
I drove this car was at Long Beach at night, which was not a good place to start when you never drove a fuel car in your life. And Ted had 2 barrel valves on it. Why, I can't tell you. But the spring he had holding the 1 barrel valve closed that was supposed to kick on at a later time broke. And it dumped about felt like 5 gallons of nitro right in my face, about 3/4 of the way down the track. And that was kind of the scary part.
Yeah.
This is a picture of the original safety safari.
Wow. And we're at Carlsbad Raceway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Carlsbad
There's
Raceway.
Jim and Doug
Okay,
right
take
there.
me, can you go upper left and just go upper left first and then go lower left and across?
You know,
From left to right? If you know any of them, just mention
I know
them.
this is Lucky Lane.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
There's
Radio guy.
Doug.
Yeah, Doug
Where's
and Nelson
Doug?
right there.
Doug Martin and Jim Nelson.
All right, good job.
And this is Wally Parks.
Yeah.
And I think this is Bernie Partridge. But Bernie's in here.
Yeah, Bernie's the one who gave me my name.
Yeah.
The old watchdog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the museum, when they opened the museum, Garlitz was there, and Bernie came over to me and he says, he says, my 2 claims to fame. He said, Big Daddy Don Garlitz and the watchdog Tommy Allen. Because he was the guy who, he was the guy who came up with the name.
Well,
Okay.
this is Carlsbad opening day.
Right. Just settle that down so it doesn't blink for me, thank you. Go on ahead.
That's,
Opening day at Carlsbad,
Opening day.
11/64,
yeah.
November 64, and that Woody car. Why did you grab the Woody? Why a Woody in '64? That was a real simple car.
Yeah, well, it was the cheapest.
It
Too.
was the cheapest, yeah.
Right.
It was the only thing we could afford.
Could you
Lee
turn
and
back
I-
to that for just a second, please? Could you turn back to that?
Lee and I had
Yeah.
we had limited funds, to put it mildly,
Right.
and I had the parts and pieces off of my square roll bar car, and that's all I had. And Lee and I went to Bank of America
There we go.
because we knew a friend that worked
Right,
there,
right.
and she pulled some strings for us and got us a loan for $3,000.
There it is.
And I gave that $3,000 to Woody,
Yeah.
and I got a roller.
Wow.
And then we had enough parts to build a small block, or to build a short block. I borrowed the intake manifold, borrowed the blower,
Right.
borrowed the injector,
Wow.
and from Dallas, actually from Dallas Martinson. And Dallas kind of helped us get the thing running. And the first pass at Ramona, we ran 184. And then just kind of progressed from there. I think we won the top limit the first night there. And we used that money to get some more parts. And every time we set up a little checking account. And every dime that we earned, we put in there, and that's what paid for our racing, because we didn't have no money to spend on racing. I mean, we were living from payday to payday, both of us were. And